Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allows you to record and edit your broadcast so it sounds great. And they even distribute your broadcast for you so that it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So make sure you download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another math session with us. This is week 4 and day number 7 of our math lesson, and we will be doing this during this school year of helping your students who are struggling with math. So we will be doing that. And as you can see, you guys, Andrew is back with me on today. He was out on Friday. So he is back with me on today. So let's get started with my lesson on today first. And it's a short lesson for today. It's because, as I explained last week, that, well, I didn't pretty much explain, but I have recorded this lesson on today, and it's just about 8 minutes long. So make sure you guys, you already have your notebooks out and your pen, pencil, whatever, to take notes, because you will be taught this, trust me. So let me begin sharing my screen. But before that, we are still talking about my 8th graders, square roots and cube roots. Today's lesson is square roots of a decimal, and I will show you guys a video explaining it. And then on Friday, we will be reviewing square roots and cube roots. So be prepared for that. And next week, we'll be moving on to something new. I believe I will be talking about rational numbers, but rational and irrational numbers, but I'll have to check again. So let's get started. And pay close attention. All right. Hello, my 8th graders, and welcome back to my lesson for this week. This is a new week, and we are still talking about square roots, you guys, and cube roots. Now, I did mention last week that I said that today we are going to review square roots, and then on Friday we was going to review cube roots. But I gave y'all some false information, but today, this is our last lesson of square roots and cube roots, and then on Friday, we're going to be reviewing square roots and cube roots. So I gave y'all false information on Friday. So today, as you can see on your screen right now, I got a YouTube video up for today's lesson, which is square root of decimal. And this is a 3 minutes long video of giving you notes and example of square roots of decimal. So, and I will show you guys another example after this video is over. So please pay attention, get out your notebook and your pencils to take notes and copy these examples down. So let's begin, you guys.
Let's see if we can solve the equation p squared is equal to 0.81. So how could we think about this? Well, one thing we could do is we could say, look, if p squared is equal to 0.81, another way of expressing this is that, well, that means that p is going to be equal to the positive or negative square root of 0.81. Remember, if we just wrote the square root symbol here, that means the principal root, or just the positive square root. But here, p could be positive or negative, because if you square it, if you square even a negative number, you're still going to get a positive value.
Correct. And remember, you guys, I told you this, that a negative number times a negative number gets you a positive answer. And he will say this again, probably toward the end of this video. So remember this, you guys, if you didn't copy this down last week, write it now and underline it, highlight it, whatever, make it bold so you guys know that a negative number times a negative number gets you a positive answer. All right.
So we could write that p is equal to the plus or minus square root of 0.81, which kind of helps us. It's another way of expressing the same equation. But still, what could p be? And your brain, you might immediately say, well, okay, you know, if this was p squared is equal to 81, I kind of know what's going on, because I know that 9 times 9 is equal to 81, or we could write that 9 squared is equal to 81.
Correct. Remember, you guys, I told you this. I told you. You need to know your multiplication facts, you guys. You need to. Well, how is 9 squared equals to 81? This is the same thing as this right here. 9 squared, which is 9 times 9 gets you 81. This is the same thing, you guys. Same thing. So, know your multiplication facts. All right, let's continue on.
Or we could write that 9 is equal to the principal root of 81.
Correct also. You could do it either both way. This way, 9 equals the square root of 81, or you could do the square root of 81, which gets you 9.
These are all, I guess, saying the same truth about the universe. But what about 0.81? Well, 0.81 has 2 digits behind to the right of the decimal. And so if I were to multiply something that has 1 digit to the right of the decimal times itself, I'm going to have something with 2 digits to the right of the decimal. And so what happens if I take, instead of 9 squared, what happens if I take a 0.9 squared? Let me try that out. Let me do it a different color. So let's say I took a 0.9 squared. 0.9 squared, well, that's going to be 0.9 times 0.9.
Correct. Absolutely correct, you guys. Please pay attention, copy this down, because this right here is the exact same thing that's right here as I was saying up here. 9 squared is the exact same thing as 9 times 9. So when he did this parentheses, 0.9 squared is the exact same thing, 0.9 times 0.9.
Which is going to be equal to, well, 9 times 9 is 81, and I have 2 numbers to the right of the decimal, so I'm going to have 2 numbers to the right of the decimal in the product, so 1, 2. So that indeed is equal to 0.81. In fact, we could write 0.81 as 0.9 squared.
Correct.
So we could write this. We could write that p is equal to the plus or minus the square root of, instead of writing 0.81, I could write that as 0.9 squared. In fact, I could also write that as negative 0.9 squared, because if you put a negative here and a negative here, it's still not going to change the value. Negative times a negative is going to be a positive.
Exactly, you guys. Just as I was saying, a negative number times a negative number, where he took it away now, it will get you a positive answer. And this right here, positive times a positive, gets you a positive answer. So you guys, this is the exact same thing as up here, the exact same thing.
I would have put a negative there, which would have implied a negative here and a negative there. So either of those are going to be true, but it's going to work out for us because we're taking the positive and negative square root. So this is going to be p is going to be equal to plus or minus 0.9. Plus or minus 0.9, or we could write it that p is equal to 0.9, or p could be equal to negative 0.9.
Exactly.
And you can verify that. You square either of these things, you get 0.81.
Exactly, you guys, exactly. It will get you this answer here. Either way, either one of these are correct. That's why you do P equals or X or whatever variable equals plus or minus whatever number's right here. It's still going to get you a positive answer. 0.9 times 0.9 gets you 0.81. Negative 0.9 times negative 0.9 gets you 0.81, you guys. This right here, exact same thing as to right here. The exact same thing. This equals to whatever's up here. So that's why you guys, you need to know your multiplication facts. Not only you need to know how to do this as well, and I will show you guys an example of this. So copy this down if you haven't already, and I will show you guys an example of this. All right, you got this down. Now let me show you guys an example of this. Now, you guys, I hope you was paying attention in that video. I hope you was paying close attention because I hope you was paying attention and took notes. Now, I did say that I was going to show you guys an example. Okay, I got one in mind here. So, like I was saying earlier, you guys need to remember this. Like I said in that video, underline it, highlight, bold it, do whatever so you know this every time that a negative number times a negative number gets you a positive answer. It does not give you a negative answer. And that will mess you up. That will mess you up with the whole problem that you are working on. Not only with this, either with another lesson that you may be doing. An equation, linear equation, whatever that you're doing, it will mess you up and you will get the wrong answer because you mess up with that one mistake there. So please know it. Now, I'm going to show you guys an example of this here. Let's do this. We have P equals plus or minus the square root of, hold on, quite doing this wrong. P equals plus or minus and I'm still doing it wrong. We're going to do P squared equals 0.36. Let's do that. Okay. Or no, matter of fact, let's just do 25. Since that's like the simple one, 0.25. You guys should know this here. So I have it up here, and I know it's backwards, but when we upload it, it will be the correct way. So we have here, well, what gets me 25 here? 5 times 5. 5 times 5 gets you 25. As to 5 squared gets you 25. How do I know this? Because I know my multiplication facts. And this is a very simple example right here, just like that I showed, that he showed you in that video. 9 times 9, 81. 6 times 6, 36. 5 times 5, 25. 4 times 4, 16. I could go on and on, you guys. The exact same thing. So what I'm going to do here is P equals plus or minus the square root of 0.25. And I have it right here. Then he also showed you this example here. He opened parentheses, 0.25 squared equals 0.5 times 0.5 gets me 0.25, right? Exact same thing. Then you're going to equal that to the square root of this right here. And I know I'm moving this toward fast, just trying to do what he was doing in that video. Then you will have this, P equals plus or minus 0.5. And either way, it could equals, P equals 0.5 or P equals negative 0.5. So either one of these is correct. 0.5 times 0.5 gets me 0.25. A negative 0.5 times a negative 0.5 gets me positive 0.25. So I hope that helps, and I hope that video helped of how he explained it. And it's very simple. It's very simple, easy steps, and yeah, so I'm pretty much finished. Like I said, this is a short lesson with this, but you will do this every time, you guys. And I just want to remind you again, if you haven't already wrote this down, write this down again. And this will be the last time that I'm going to say this. Negative number times negative number gets me a positive answer. Please remember that, because if you don't, you're going to mess up. And it's going to mess you up with the whole problem that you're doing. And you're going to get the answer incorrect because you messed up with that one mistake. So I just have to say that there. So I'm pretty much finished with my lesson. And then on Friday, like I said earlier, we will be reviewing cube roots and square roots. So be ready for that.
Yes, that was a good lesson right there. So y'all make sure y'all take some notes on that as well. Because I'm pretty sure he has said it in every single video, to take notes. Yes. That negative times a negative equals positive. So make sure you write that down. Do whatever you need to do to remind yourself of that. So at this time, there will be no mid-session break today. It'll be after my lesson because I have a big old lesson. I have a big old lesson. So, I should probably begin. I should probably begin. All right. So hi, and then I've been gone for a day now, which is Friday. Which I think I talked about it too on the new episode of Future Educators Talk, which come out this Thursday, I'm hoping. So y'all make sure y'all listen to that, because that will explain that into detail. So basically, the reason why I wasn't here on Friday is because my best friend moved to Georgia. That was her last day, and literally it was unexpected, like came out of the blue. So I had to drive 40 minutes, spend quality time with her, came back. That's when I realized, well, I texted Damian. I was like, I'm going to be late. Didn't know that I was going to come back later than usual, but yeah. All right. So with all that aside, so the last thing that we talked about is this right here, which is last thing we talked about is ordinary pairs and relations. We talked about coordinate planes, order pair, x coordinate, the y coordinate, the x axis, the origin, and the x axis. So that's the last thing that we talked about on last Monday. Today is going to be part 2, as well as I'm gonna try to sneak in at least one of the review, which is words / various expressions, and I'm gonna try to sneak in gym dads as well, because today is also review day, part 1, and also on Friday is the last day of review day / new unit. So Friday will be our new unit. We will go into integers and absolute value, which is kind of similar of what Damian talked about earlier, where he said negative times a negative equals a positive. With absolute value, it's basically the same thing. That same rule apply. So y'all make sure you have your notebooks ready for that on Friday. But for today, there is a part 2 of order pairs and relations. So today we are going to talk about domain and range. Yes. We have domain and range. So here are your vocab for today. So you already know what a relation is, which is a set of coordinate planes. The domain is a set of x coordinates, and the range is a set of y coordinates. So here is your first example. So if I find the main range of 3, 4, 4, 6, and 5, 2, and you be wondering how in the world do I find the domain and range? Now keep note of this, because once you get into high school, you have to find, they go really more into depth about domain and range when they are parabolas. Like you have to find the domain and range of a parabola, of a linear function. You got to find what's the domain and range of that. So this is kind of like a sneak peek of what you'll be learning of once you get to the high school. So again, the domain is a set of x coordinates. So what I have here is it's best for you to write out the order pairs, so that way it'll be much easier to you. So that's what I did. I did 3, 4, 4, 6, and 5, 2. So I wrote it all out, or you can write it like a table, like I did over here. Do x coordinates on this side and the y coordinates on the other side. So your domain is going to be 3, 4, and 5, and your range is 4, 6, and 2. Now you'll be wondering, like, how you get the domain range. Again, domain is your y coordinates. I mean the x coordinates, and your range is set of your y coordinates. So what I have circled in green is your range. What I have circled in red is the domain. Just like for this table, what I write in blue is your domain. What I write in orange is your range, your y coordinates. Okay? All right, so here's another example. 1, 7, 8, 9, 2, 6, and 3, 6. Again, it's best for you to write it out, so that way you can either write it out or create a table. Those are the 2 ways that you can actually find domain range. So that's what I did. I did 1, 7, 8, 9, 2, 6, and 3, 6. What I have circled in blue is your domain. What I have circled in red is range. If you want to do like a table way, what I write in black is your domain, and what write in green is your range. Okay? Now you'll be like, oh, this is pretty easy. Trust me. Once you get into high school, you will be wishing that this was easy. You'll be wishing. Because let me tell you, you have to find the domain range of a parabola, of a linear function. Okay? You have to, you might think this is easy, or if you think this is hard, yeah, just wait until high school. Trust me. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Damian can agree on this one.
Absolutely.
Wait until high, at least until I would say your freshman year of high school, because they're gonna hit you with that. Oh, you gotta find the domain range of a linear function. You're like, how do I find the domain range? Well, if you learn back in 6th grade, here you go. This is how you find the domain range. All right. So, so this is part 2 of the order pairs of relations. I am going to do I am going to do if I know how. Let me stop share for a second and let me pull something up real quick. So at this time we are going into review mode. Today we're going to review if my thing can open up. That'd be great.
Okay. And while he's getting that together, you guys, the domain and range, it will get more complicated, you guys, once you get into high school. Just as he was saying, there will be a problem where find the domain or range in a linear equation, okay, or whatever. It's going to get complicated, you guys. So that's why he is teaching you now early. And if you remember back in 6th grade, what you did,
you should be good.
Yes, absolutely. So
please, it's not again.
Yes, please pay.
You will be struggling.
Yes.
Okay. It's very important that you know your domain range.
Absolutely. And like also,
I'm sorry.
my bad. And also to my 8th graders as well. I know you guys know how to do this, but also pay attention to Andrew's lesson as well. Not only to mine's, but also to his as well, because it will be a refresher to you guys, and you will see them again once you go into high school. Okay, please.
Yeah.
And then also to the 6th graders out there, pay attention to my lesson, because you'll be doing this and also in high school, a little similar. So please pay attention to both of our lessons, you guys.
Please. Because you will see this again in high school. Trust me. I cannot stress this enough. Trust me. You will see this again. Because again, they will get you. If you do not know your information, you will get behind.
Absolutely. You do not want to get way behind, because if you do, it's gonna take you some time to get all caught up. It will.
Mm-hmm. And you don't want to be that person to be behind. All right. So, today we're gonna review. Today we're gonna review verbal / word expressions and gym desks. Today, on Friday, we're gonna talk about words. Our last lesson of the day. Not of the day. The last lesson of the unit before we get into unit, and then we're gonna review. So I'm trying to do part 1 of it today. All right, so earlier since the beginning, share. Oh, we can do whiteboard. Wait. Okay. So since the beginning of this math virtual lesson, I taught y'all how to do, I believe, this right here, words and expressions. How it's a combination of numbers and operations, such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. To evaluate an expression, you need to find its value. Of course, the order of operations, it is no longer, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, because I think I said this too in the beginning, that Aunt Sally got divorced and that she's now marrying Gary, okay? She's not marrying Pat anymore, or Patrick, or whatever the name that I used for P. So it is now Gym Dance now, which is grouping expressions, multiply / divide, and subtract. So at this time, I am going to, this is kind of like a refresher. I'm gonna show y'all 2 videos. One of them is about expressions, and one of them is about order of operations. Allow. So while this is going up, make sure you have a pen and pencil ready to take down this information, because if not, and again and again and again, you will be behind. You will be behind. We're not gonna watch the whole 11 minutes, because that's not happening. So while that is loading, I'm gonna tell y'all my plan. So again, today is review day. Friday is the last day of our lesson of the unit, and then we're gonna review, and then we're gonna go into the beginning of our new unit. I'm trying to get stuff done before I leave, because I won't be here on Friday, October the 5th. I'm trying to get stuff done before I leave, because that is the day where, like, I'm trying to get stuff done because I won't be here on Friday, October the 5th. So I'm trying to get as many lessons as I can to squeeze in before October the 5th. So that way I can, I don't have to worry about anything once that day comes. Which I will probably speak to Damian about why I'm not going to be here October. I think I told you why. I think I have not.
Welcome to Anywhere Math. I'm Jeff Jacobson, and today we're going to talk
about wait a minute.
expressions. Let's get started.
No, let's not get started because we don't see the video.
Hold on. I know. All right. So anyway, before he rudely interrupted my plans, so yeah, I will talk to Damian about why I'm not going to be here October 5th. And then, but don't you worry, I'll be back. Okay, we're gonna just pause the video because every time I speak, it's just going to be rudely interrupted. Okay, we need you to calm down. Okay. Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted again for the second time, I will not be here on October 5th. I will talk to Damian about why I'm not going to be here October 5th. But don't you worry, I'll be back on Friday, whatever that Friday is. The October
the 8th, I believe.
Is it that 8th?
No, the 9th. My bad.
So the 9th.
Yeah.
Yes. So I will be back for October 9th. And then I'm going to be here for 2 weeks. That means October 9th and the 12th. The 12th will be my last day. The reason why I put in quotations is because I'm taking my vacation. Oh, no, sorry. Friday, October 16th will be my last day because I'm taking my vacation. That following Monday. So the 19th to the 23rd, I will not be here. I'm taking vacation. I will not be here. But I will be back on Friday, October 23rd. No, sorry. That following Monday, October 26th. So I'll be gone for like a week. So that means I will be missing 2 math virtual lessons. So now that I got all that, out of the way, let us begin the video, shall we? Oh.
Yeah, we can't see it.
Y'all can't see it?
No, we can't. I believe I had that issue before.
Let me stop share for a second. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties, which is a first because we never have a technical difficulty. All right, let me do this then. Okay.
There we go.
Oh, you can see it now, can you?
Yes.
Okay. So basically what I did was I stopped share and then put it. I don't know what I did. But anyway, let's continue.
All right, if you're like most people, you might think simplifying expressions is no big deal. But when it comes to writing them from a word problem or a phrase, then you start to get a little nervous. So let's break it down. With writing expressions, it's all about finding those key words. So if you look right here, copy this chart down. These are the key words and the corresponding operations.
Copy this chart down. Like, that is the reason why I paused this video. Copy this chart down, please.
Yes, my 8th graders as well, please do, because I believe like somewhere in a couple more weeks, I was going to show this here and some word problems. So please copy this down, please.
I'm gonna take like a minute or two for y'all to copy this chart down, because this chart right here, it's gonna help you in the long run. Not just gonna help you write expressions, but this will help you along down the road, especially with word problems.
Absolutely. And people, they get confused of like which to use. Like, for example, let me use of, for example, which is under the multiplication. People get confused, like, okay, what am I supposed to do, like, in a word problem? Or I believe that's twice of, not just of.
No, it's of, because there's no.
Yes, my bad.
In addition, it says total of, and then for multiplication, it just says of. Because it says product of. Yes. But I'm telling you, this table, added to, plus, sum of, more than, increased by, total.
Oh, yes. I used to have
subtraction, Mine should tell you from the jump.
Exactly. Exactly.
Or multiply by. You should automatically know how to do it.
Divided by.
Times. Twice. If you don't know what twice is, come on now.
Take away. It's these are so easy, you guys. If you just read it, not so fast, and you just stop and look at it and underline it so you know which you have to do. Because if you don't underline the important information, then you will
get the answer wrong.
Exactly.
Period. It's very important that you copy this table down, because if you want to get the correct answer, hello, this is the answer of you know. It's very important that you know this. It's very important, because you will learn this in the long run. You should automatically, like, once you get into high school, you should be on it.
Yes.
On it. I'm telling you, you should be on it. Because look, in high school, they're gonna throw you some word problems.
Mm-hmm.
You be like, what?
So confused.
So confused.
Because you wasn't paying attention back in middle school in your math class. So that's why you guys, we are doing this here to help you with your math. Because example here, you guys, I struggle with math. I did. And back then I wish I had something like this here to, teach me. Besides my teachers outside of school, like at home, because they're not here to physically help me with the problem. So that's why we're doing this, you guys, to help you, to teach you. Because we have been through it, you guys.
We've been through it. We know the struggles.
Yes.
Understand what y'all going through, because we done. You know how people say it now. We been there, done that.
Yeah.
But let's move forward. If you have not copied this chart down, or or take a picture of it or something, I will copy this table, and will be uploaded onto the thing. But let's continue.
You should be looking for, okay? Keep an eye out for these words. So pause the video, write this down, and these are words you really have to memorize and what they correspond with what operation. Some of them you should already know. Okay, let's get started with example 1. So write the phrase as an expression. We've got some phrases, we're gonna turn them into expressions. So again, we're looking for those keywords or phrases. So 8 less than 21. Hopefully you recognize less than from that chart.
Let me pause the video. From the jump, you should already know what less than means. From the jump, even by looking at it, you should already know what that means. That's why I had to pause this video real quick. From the jump, you should already know.
And you see what he's doing? He's underlining it.
Mm-hmm. Underline, highlight,
do whatever.
Put a box around it.
Mm-hmm. That's what I did. Mm-hmm.
Something that makes you be like, hey, this is important from the chart. Now, during the standardized test, they're not going to give you a highlighter. Oh no, they're not going to give you a highlighter. But what you can do is write all over that test. That's what you can do. But they're not going to give you a highlighter. No, ma'am. But anyway, let's continue. I had to pause because I saw that immediately. Probably Damian too, but like, oh,
Yeah.
I know what less than means. But let us continue.
And you remember that less than, we're talking about subtraction.
Mm-hmm.
But less than is really an important one to know, because the order for these numbers is going to be switched. But here, less than, it's actually not going to be 8 minus 21. It's going to be 21 minus 8. Okay? We're saying 8 less than 21. So we're starting with 21 and subtracting 8 from it. This is my answer. That's my expression. Remember, we're writing expressions. I'm not actually asking you to simplify that. I don't want you to actually do 21 minus 8.
He's not solving it. It didn't say evaluate. He's just writing it as an expression. Notice he didn't put an equal sign. Just write it as an expression. Don't solve it. Okay? I'm gonna be like one of those math teachers. I'm gonna be like, don't solve it. Just write it as an expression. Now, if you solve it, I mean, I'm going to give you extra credit because, you're solving it. But that's not part of the answer, though. Just write it as expression. That's it. No need to put equal sign. No need to solve it or anything. Just write it as an expression.
Stop right there, and that's your expression. So in the chart, less than and more than, I would put a big star next to those. More than and less than. Put a big star next to those and maybe write, pay attention to the order or something. Okay? Because that's a really common mistake I see a lot of students make, is that if they were doing this, they would write 8 minus 21 instead of 21 minus 8. So more than and less than, really pay attention to those orders because it's switched. Okay? Let's do the next one. B, the product of 30 and 9. Okay? Well, let's look for the key word. Here, it's product. I also want to say something about these terms: sum, difference, product, and quotient. They're all related. They're all kind of the same type of term. We know product is talking about multiplication. When you see those words, sum, difference, product, quotient, they come in pairs. Always also look for
and.
That is where the operation goes. Mm-hmm. So we know product means multiplication, and is where we put it. So the product of 30 and 9 means 30
times 9.
Okay, and we know when we write it next to the parentheses, it means multiplication. You could also write 30, right? You could do that as well. So make another note in that chart. Sum, difference, product, and quotient. Pay attention to the and, right? Look for and. That's where the operation will go, okay? Let's try another example. Okay, example 2. Write the phrase as an expression. So we're doing the same thing from example 1. We're looking for those.
All right, so I'm going to just pause the video right there. There you go. There are no words. There you go. There you go. That's how you write an expression. Not solving it, just writing it as expression. Okay. All right, so we're gonna watch another video. We are going to watch another video about genders. Do math. I hope I hope y'all write this down or take a picture or something. I hope.
Welcome to Order of Operations. The goal of this video will be to simplify expressions using the order of operations. Now, the order of operations are probably one of the most important set of rules you need to follow when performing mathematical calculations.
Wait a minute.
It's kind of like the rule.
Wait a minute. See, I hate when videos are really interrupted. Like, hold on. Wait a minute. All right. Let me share my screen real quick. Still loading. Okay.
Just love technology.
Just love it.
Of the game. If everyone
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait, no.
Today is Monday. Today is Monday.
Today's Monday, y'all. Gotta love it when technology wants to do its own thing. All right. In the meantime, I hope y'all learn. I hope y'all learn from the unit. Because Friday, we're on a new unit. We're moving on. Just like Damian said, we're moving on.
Yeah.
Either you got it or you don't. It's time to move on. If you still don't get it, I'll be glad to help.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I will help, but I have to move on. Like I said, either tweet me or message me or something if you still don't get it.
Exactly. With me as well, because I'm not going to reteach it, especially when I get into the classroom for the ones who was there and then the ones who are not. I'm not doing that. I mean, of course, I will help you outside of class, but I'm not going to. Sorry, interrupted.
Number one, we can calculate within the innermost parentheses or
You know what?
tables, and these
We we're gonna stop sharing for a second. Okay, so since technology wants to be on its own world today,
Oh my gosh. It's
it wants
just
to do its own thing today. I'm not gonna show you that video because it really interrupted Damian. So I apologize. But technology wants to act on today. So no video today.
but maybe we'll probably Andrew will try to upload it onto our Instagram pages, you guys.
Hopefully, if technology can stop acting on its own, will be great. I believe that is it for my lesson. I know today's Monday. I know there was a little hiccups along the way. Just know that on Friday, last lesson of our unit, plus review of order pairs and relations. And then we're moving on to our next unit, which is integers and absolute value, which integers you will go in depth in high school. When you get into algebra, but absolute value, you'll in high school, like you won't get it. It won't be as depth, but it'll be like a refresher once you get to high school because they don't really talk a whole lot about absolute value. They just spend a good amount of time on integers. Absolute value, not as much. So yeah, so that is it for my lesson. I know that it's a very medium session. But yeah, that is it. So just be prepared for Friday because I'm pretty sure Friday is going to be the exact same thing as today. So just be prepared.
Yes, yes. And also my 8th graders as well. We will be wrapping up our lesson of square roots and cube roots. Wasn't that fun? So we will be wrapping that up Friday, reviewing, and then next week we will be talking about rational and irrational numbers.
Also, I want to point something out. This is where things gets a little swift, as I like to say, because he's trying to figure out how the video will be played out. So I should be pointing this way. So when the video comes, so on Friday, he's going to talk about rationals and irrationals. To my 6th graders, listen up. Y'all, we will talk about rationals and irrationals. Well, we're going to talk about rationals first. Once I get back from my vacation. So once I get back from a vacation, we're going to talk about rational numbers. Just rationals. So this is where you were like, I've seen his lesson somewhere. Yes, this is where I think we said this in the beginning since the start of this. This is where some of the lessons that we already talked about, we're going to be using the same lesson, but we're going to revamp.
Yeah.
A little bit. So we're just warning you now, because next you know, I don't want to be no confusion.
That's why I said earlier, pay attention to both of our lessons. 6th graders, you also pay attention to my lessons. Then 8th graders, you also pay attention to Andrew's lesson. For you guys, it will be a refresher. And to the 6th graders, this is what you will be doing when you come to 8th grade. So don't just only pay attention to one of our lessons, just pay attention to both. Because they're exactly, especially to the 6th graders. Exactly. So next week, 6th graders, pay attention to my lesson. Pay close attention.
Like really close.
Yes.
And, because I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna bring it up once I get back from vacation. I'm like, all right, we're gonna talk about rational numbers. I'm gonna break it down for you. What is a rational number? Because I'm gonna say this too. I hope you pay attention to Damian's lesson. Because if not, I'm gonna go ahead and let him speak. Because if not, I don't know what to say.
Exactly. So I don't know what to say either. Just pay attention, you guys. Just pay attention. That's why we are doing this. To help you guys. I know this is for me, I'm just only doing eighth graders, but really I'm doing I'm teaching to everyone, to the fifth graders, the seventh graders, the sixth graders. I'm teaching to you guys to get you guys a head start to this. So once you hit eighth grade, you'll be like, hey, wait a minute. I seen this lesson before. I know how to do this because I watched the co-host of Future Educators Talk math session, and they taught me this. So I'm ready to do this. I'm game up with this. We want you guys to be like that.
You should be on your toes.
And then you can help others, you guys.
Fall behind. No exceptions. You will fall behind. Period. Just saying. You will fall behind. And nobody wants to fall behind. So you got to be on your ball game. You got to be on your A game.
Absolutely. So thank you guys, sixth graders and eighth graders, and anyone else who is watching this. Thank you guys for tuning in with us with our lesson. We really appreciate it. We are in week 4 of our math session, and this is day number 7. Yeah.
7. A week. We're a weekend.
We sure are.
We ain't done. We are not done. You might think that we're done. We're just
people people think that not just only with our math session here, but on our podcast that
we're not done over there either. We ain't done over there.
No. We got more to talk about. So much more to talk about.
Anyway, that's all I have to say on this math virtual lesson. I'm glad I'll be back. I'm glad that I'm back today. Even though I'm like tired, but I'm back for the next 3 weeks. Yeah, for the next 3 weeks. So, yep.
And I believe I mentioned probably last week in week 3 or week 2 that I was going to be out, but that has changed, you guys. My schedule has changed. I'm going to be here on out. I'm not going to miss any lessons, so just to give you guys a head up. So I will not be missing any of these sessions that we will be doing.
Well, if you can look at the time, it is currently 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. You already know what that means. Time to end our math virtual lesson. Yes.
Yes.
You already know what to do. Follow us on social media.
Yes, you guys.
I don't know how to build. I don't know how
it's probably
videos go out.
from your end. It's probably going to look the other direction.
So this way. Okay, so it's going to be this way.
Yeah, hopefully.
So you can follow him, Damian Anderson, on Twitter.
Yes.
@ Damian Anderson on Instagram. The Damian Anderson, because he's the one and only. Also on Facebook as well.
Yes.
At the Damian Anderson. If you don't see his face,
then it's not me. It's not me.
Him.
Don't.
Not him.
You're trying to ask me a question, but it's not me. You're gonna get the wrong person. They're gonna be like,
"You're gonna get the wrong person today." No, that's not him. If it's not his, if it's not
this, don't add. Don't.
Don't. So yeah.
So, if you have any questions, you guys,
I thought you were gonna do me. Oh,
oh
okay.
yes, yes. It's
Oh yeah.
probably I don't know how this is going to look. Probably this way or this way. But you guys, you guys can follow Andrew Frett on social media on Instagram at it's Andrew Frett, and on Twitter at Darren_Frett. So, have any questions for him? Feel free to
Ask
contact
away.
him. Yes,
Ask away.
please.
And shall received.
Yes, yes, yes.
Anyway. Anyway, without further ado, you already know what the motto is. If you don't know the motto already, then you're behind.
Because our motto is, you guys, same time.
Same time.
Same time, you guys.
Same time.
grind.
Same grind.
But yeah, a different lesson, you guys. So that is our motto. That is our motto. And I will put it up onto the screen, which is right now. So that's our motto, you guys. That is our motto.
Yes. Know that motto, because we will say it at the end of every video.
Okay. Session.
If Damian, if I'm not here, I will record my voice saying it. Same time, same grind, but a different lesson.
Absolutely. So, you guys, thank you guys again for tuning in with us. I am your host, Damian Anderson. I was about to say Andrew Frett. I don't know why. You guys, today is Monday.
Today's Monday. Look, he's not Andrew Frett, okay? And I'm not Damian Anderson, okay?
No, what was I thinking?
I'm not Damian Anderson. Okay? I think the end of the episode should be, I'm not Damian Anderson.
Yeah, and I'm not Andrew Frett. Oh my gosh. Today is Monday, you guys.
Damian Anderson, I'm Andrew Frett.
Yes.
Have a wonderful Monday. It's Monday, y'all. Have a wonderful Monday. Enjoy your Monday, okay? Because we're enjoying our Monday.
Oh my gosh. Yes. You guys, I'm gonna just say it up front. You guys will see how I react on Mondays when we do this. I'm not gonna be ready. I'm gonna be
ready on Mondays.
I'm all over the place.
But by Friday we be on it. No issues, no nothing, no technology, no nothing. It's always on Mondays when we're having problems. Always on Mondays.
Absolutely.
Always. This is the first time ever that I had a technology issue. The first time ever. And that was on a Monday. Why Monday?
Exactly.
Why can't be on a Friday?
I know.
Anyway, I'm not Damian Anderson, and he's not Andrew Frett.
No.
We'll see y'all Friday. Hopefully things get better. Hopefully,
yes. Hopefully. So y'all take care, and we'll see you guys back this Friday for another math session. So please take care. Enjoy your rest of your Monday. If you're watching this on Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whichever. Enjoy
and the days of the week.
Yeah.
And the days of the week. But y'all take care.
Yes.
Have a good week. Have a good week. If your Monday if you're having a good Monday, good job.
Yeah,
but
because we're not.
Monday,
we're not.
Y'all take.
Yes. Y'all, we're gonna end this and hopefully try to enjoy the rest of our Monday. So we'll see y'all Friday.
Y'all.
Take care.